Yo! Welcome back to another edition of the Cruising Podcast. This is your host, Andrew motherfucking Cruz. And today's Monday, and where you can find the Cruising Podcast is on Apple Fuck, man, I was doing good. Apple Podcasts, YouTube, also on Twitch. You can also find me on SoundCloud and also on Mixcloud for all the older episodes that I need to switch over and get done with that. Yeah, I need to do that. Also on Stitcher, and I'm approved on TuneIn and Alexa. Also, where you can find Andrew Cruz is at Cruising Podcast on Instagram. Also, Nicetown Finest at Nicetown Finest on Twitter if you need to find your boy and with the latest updates on the motherfucking podcast. So, I wanted to recap last month. Just in case everybody doesn't know, and I know a lot of you haven't followed me yet on Instagram. If you don't, you're a hater, and you just to get away from the hateration, maybe you just need to follow me on Instagram at Cruising Podcast. But I've been kind of documenting that I participated in Sober October, just like the guys from Joe Rogan Experience, that they, this is where I got this idea from, where I did not drink, do any type of illicit drugs, even though I don't ever do them anyway, but mostly it's the drinking part. And also I worked out 6 days a week, and I would like to say that this was the greatest decision that I've made in my life. I made a lot of decisions in my life. Some of them have been bad, and I had to walk away from them. But this one has been fantastic. I've never seen more results in my life from just a month of just straight up discipline. Like, I was disciplined. I started doing intermittent fasting. I'll fast for literally 16, maybe 15 to 16 hours, 15 to probably 17 hours between my day. Like, I wouldn't eat. I will fast for that whole time. To tell you the truth, I had a lot more vegetables. I just ate cleaner. Well, maybe not as clean as I should have. But I did a lot more cardio, a lot more lifting, just everything. Like, just the discipline that I got from this month really, for real, has changed my life, man. Like, I started this month at 249. I weighed myself before the month happened and stuff like that. And I was like, all right, well, what I'm going to do is just straight up exercise, eat, twice a day, and this intermittent fasting and work out. And I'm telling you, this shit changed my fucking life, yo. Like, I was at 249 on October 1st. On October 1st. I went to the chiropractor on November 1st, and I had on a hoodie. I had on straight up pants, and I had my cell phone, my wallet, everything was in my pocket at the time. I was at 241 with all this shit on. So if I was, had everything off, I would probably be in the mid 230s, maybe low 230s. I didn't really go check it because I was, I've been fucking up. No, but I didn't have a cheat day either. I never had a cheat day. Like, I didn't go and just start eating snacks and start eating all the sweets and shit because, Halloween's a pretty tough time. Your boy got sweet tooth, and I actually was able to abstain from eating candy and, like, literally eating bad shit, like really, really bad shit. I haven't had a donut in like 2 months. I had pizza, but pizza. I love pizza. I know how to burn that shit off. I went and I played a tennis tournament on November 1st. And I'm telling you, I went to the chiropractor, and like, they told me, I'm trying to get my shoulders, my back fixed up and stuff. I'm figuring out that I had some problems that I didn't even think I had. And I'm telling you, everything that I've done this past month has really changed who I am. Like, I've lost a lot of weight, and also I've gained a lot more energy. I've gained a lot more, like, I felt like myself again. I felt like maybe not 18-year-old self, maybe 20-year-old self, but I felt like me again. And I feel like if I continue this path that I would definitely, definitely feel a million times better. And I definitely advise people to definitely, if you just find that discipline. That's all it is. It's just discipline. And that's all it really was. And I needed to be determined. And I was determined. I was like, look, man, I'm gonna lift. I'm gonna, do a lot more cardio. I'm gonna put my mind set in getting this fucking goal done. That's all it was. I had to get this I had to kick myself in the ass. I had to sit here and say, you're being a bitch. You have a lot of bitch in you right now. You need to get this shit done. That's all it is. Either get the shit done or stay fat forever. You got those two fucking choices. And I said, fuck. I gotta sometimes you just gotta talk to yourself. Say, and admit that you talk to yourself. Don't let people sit there and think you crazy because you talk to yourself. Sometimes you gotta talk to yourself and be your own motivation. You gotta sometimes just become your own motivation. Become your own drill sergeant. Become your own coach. Become your own whatever. But you gotta fucking handle that shit on your own before other people can step in and start helping you out. You got to put it in your mind, just like you got to love yourself before you can love others. You got to fucking put it out there that you're ready to fucking work to yourself. And you got to go and put in the fucking work. It's not just telling yourself, oh, well, I'm going to be doing this tomorrow. No, fuck that. You need to do that shit today, right now. And so I was like, look, man, I've been lazy. I was being lazy. I was working out, but at the same time, I was eating like shit. And I was also, not fasting. Well, I've tried different shit. I definitely can't do keto. I know that's for facts. I know that, look, there's a lot of things. I know can't is a word I shouldn't be saying, but I can't do fucking keto. That shit, fuck that. I tried plant-based. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have the same energy I had, but with this intermittent fasting, I got over the whole irritation and wanting to cuss everybody the fuck out phase. And I feel fantastic. Like I'm going through my day feeling great and energized. I mean, yeah, here and there I don't get enough sleep. I still don't. That's just life. That's Andrew Cruz. But going to the chiropractor, getting my shoulder kind of fixed up a little bit better. I played probably the best tennis in a very, very long fucking time. And yes, I do play tennis. And yes, you can kiss my ass if you got a problem with me being a black man playing tennis. You know what I'm saying? Still got other things from stereotype. I eat fried chicken. Yeah, I love fried chicken. But what's crazy? In a month, I didn't have fried chicken. I really didn't have fast food. Like, this is huge for me. This is huge. Now, did I have a cheat day on November 2nd? Fuck yeah, I did. I had, I had me a nice little, but it wasn't that, to tell you the truth, it wasn't as bad as a cheat day as I thought I was going to have. I had some frozen yogurt, which was delicious. I had Taco Bell, which of course is always fucking delicious. And I had some beer. And then, now it's no days off November, meaning my black ass is going to be in the gym 7 days a week. Maybe not lifting, maybe cardio and doing all the rest of that shit some days too. But there's no days off on this shit. Now, I'm not just talking about working out. I'm talking about with the podcast. I know we're talking about with work. This podcast, I'm supposed to be doing it 3 days a fucking week. I've been doing it 2 days a week because Fridays continue to become hectic as fuck for me. So I'm going to continue to do this shit 3 days a week. And that's my commitment to this motherfucking podcast, because it's no days off, no fucking November. And even if I'm tired, if I'm like, fuck that. There's no days fucking off. And yeah, that's the start of I started that shit today. Today, everything starts today because I had hello, Fortnite Ryan 2005. What's up? Oh, it's on my Twitch channel. What's good? So yeah, man, no days off November of everything. Podcasts, video game live streaming, working out, everything is no fucking days off. We got to go in hard in the fucking paint on yourself and on myself. Actually, that's my mission. That is my mission. And I have my, my weight goals and my how good I feel goals and shit like that. So it's definitely It's going to be a rough month for your boy, especially with Thanksgiving. I think I'm going to do, my only cheat day probably this month is probably going to be Thanksgiving, because we got 2 ovens, and we have wonderful cooks in this family. So so your boy's going to be definitely chowing down on Thanksgiving. Trust that shit. Okay, so but also, no days off. November, I'm watching animes. I'm definitely watching the anime per day. I'm almost finished. Me too. I like this guy. I fucking love Thanksgiving too. You wanna know why I fucking love Thanksgiving? It's because my mom can cook, my eldest brother can cook, my sister can cook. I mean, I could throw down a little bit, so with ham and cheese pie. If I put some ham and cheese pie out there, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, your boy can do a little bit. He can do a little bit, but everybody in the family for real can cook. It's except for a few of them. But yeah, that's my problem. And then Black Friday, I gotta. It's gonna be a ham and cheese pie. Yeah, bro. Yes. Eat, boy, in the morning, I like that. Absolutely. Oh, thank you. Thank you about my energy, man. I'm trying to do as much as I can, man. I appreciate that. Ham and cheese pie, yo. Ham and cheese pie. I don't want to give away my secrets on the ham and cheese pie, but I'm gonna give a little bit of something here. Croissant rolls. Uh, yeah, I try to do what I can, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's croissant rolls, cheese, ham, and for real, you just put it inside of a pan, spread everything around, bake it from like 350 or 400. I also like brine my ham in water, and it's delicious. Let me tell you something. For people Twitch and also on YouTube at Cruising Podcasts, and I think this one's Nice Town Finest 27, because I made this when I was 27. I didn't even know I made Twitch at 27 years old, but who knows? You know what I'm saying? It's just what happens. And then also on Apple Podcasts at Cruising Podcasts. Come check it out, man. Leave a review, leave ratings and stuff like that. And hit me up. Just tell me how you like the show. Constructive criticism, I can take it. I'm a grown up sometimes, but I can take it, man. So, but I definitely like to make ham and cheese pie. Usually the day before Thanksgiving. It's kind of not now what my fake ritual now is to make some ham and cheese pie so everybody can have some deliciousness before anything. And also, that's I'm not the type that likes to fucking fast during Thanksgiving, because I've heard people say, well, you're supposed to take a day off of not eating. Fuck that shit. No. First of all, I'm black. Second of all, I have way too many cooks in this house. And third of all, I like to eat. I mean, as you can see, I like to eat. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. So, so this past week, I got to watch a new Netflix show. I got to watch a new Netflix show. It's called Daybreak. I don't know if you guys ever seen it. Hey man, it was deaf. So I got to watch this new Netflix show. It's called Daybreak, and let me tell you something. It is a fantastic show. I've definitely enjoyed myself watching this show. It's weird seeing Matthew Broderick playing a principal role, seeing that he's Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So I truly enjoyed this show. It's about like pretty much the world. The world has been hit with a nuclear holocaust, and for real, only kids that's 18 and under or were able to survive the nuclear holocaust, nuclear holocaust. Yeah, that's the word that we're looking for. Holocaust. Boom, boom, blah. Yeah. So only kids got to survive it. The adults are turned into these like not zombies. They call them ghoulies. They like if they bite you, you can't turn into them. It's really about this guy named Josh Wheeler who's trying to find his girlfriend through this. And every single so his high school turned into nothing. Like all the cliques turned into their own outlaw gangs that normally happen during these type of apocalypse movies. So you have the jocks, you have cheerleaders, you got the nerds, you got the 4-H club. If you don't know what the 4-H club is, because I feel like that's like an old school thing called that. So it's like the gardening club, or people that know how to like do all this stuff with engineering and stuff like that. So I truly enjoyed this show. I think they did a fantastic job with the whole just which one are you? What you mean? What you mean? Which group would I be? I'll be man, let me tell you something. I used to play I did a little bit of sports back in the day, you know what I'm saying? But I would definitely be either with the nerds and sport, like I'll be in the middle. But if I chose a group, if there was a group that I would have been part of, to tell the truth, I probably would have been part of the jocks because I played football, basketball, I played all the sports, and I think that's the group I probably would have been more entangled with. But the jocks were like the ones that was really running everything too. So I like to be the front runners. I like to be part of the front runners. So that's cool with me. But the like I said, the daybreak is about this kid, Josh Wheeler, who was really he wasn't part of any group, to tell you the truth. And he was just surviving the Holocaust by himself. And let me tell y'all something. This show not only is just funny, it's heartwarming. It's a lot of action, a lot of brutality, a lot of suggestive stuff going on there. But it's not a regular zombie show. It was not like The Walking Dead. It's actually a different take on the zombie genre, and I think it's a really good take on the zombie genre. So, and also the ending to this show is the clip, not a cliffhanger. What would it be? The twist at the end of the show is so good, man. Like I don't understand. Like if no, I can't believe not a lot more people are talking about this show. It's fantastic. I enjoyed it myself. It has the lead is Colin Ford. If you haven't seen Colin Ford before, he was one of the main characters on Under the Dome, which I know a lot of people probably didn't watch because it's on CBS. But I actually enjoyed that show. I know a lot of people didn't. There was too many twists. There was too much going on in that show. But the show was so good at the beginning, and then it kind of tailed off. It started getting a little weird. But he was actually one of the main people on the show, like the main kid trying to figure out why the dome was brought down. It was actually not a bad show for like the first 2 seasons, and then they started doing all this alien shit that should have never happened. So it is what it is. I mean, like, I would definitely advise you to watch Under the Dome, and I definitely advise you to watch Daybreak because I thoroughly enjoyed it. And Netflix knows how to put some shows out like Peaky Blinders and like especially Peaky Blinders. Goodness gracious, I've thoroughly enjoyed that show. BBC and Netflix have definitely came together to make a really good gangster genre type show, especially for the English side of things. You would never know about this unless BBC and Netflix did not make it. Did you see the Breaking Bad? I have not seen it yet. Let me tell you something. I haven't had 2 hours to spare. That's my problem. I need to figure out like 2 hours to spare just so I can enjoy it. Because let me tell you something. I thoroughly enjoyed Breaking Bad. I was one of those dudes that I got into the game late on Breaking Bad, but I definitely binge watched the whole entire series in like a week just so I could catch up to the final season. And I thoroughly enjoyed Breaking Bad. I think it was the most binge-worthy show of all time. And to tell you that the smartest idea that they did was bring that show onto Netflix, because that's literally, I think, where most of its popularity came from. Like the AMC type deal. I don't think people really saw it on AMC that much because of Walking Dead, and well, yeah, mostly because of Walking Dead. But Breaking Bad was so good, man. I completely enjoyed it. I love the Sopranos. Me too. I like these guys. Man. I love Sopranos, man. Sopranos was fantastic. Definitely a different take on the gangster genre. Tony Soprano. My favorite, like that was one of my favorite shows growing up, was definitely that genre of stuff. Goodfellas, The Godfather. I've always been a fan of like the Italian mafia type shows. I think that's just a black thing, though. kind of think that this really is. I don't mean to make it a race thing, but black people always love some gangster dramas, man. That's just the way we roll, man. So, but if you like The Sopranos, then that means you like The Wire too. You gotta like The Wire. You got to. I'm not even going to. I'm not even going to look at it. I know you like The Wire because The Wire is one of the greatest shows of all time. So, like, just go. That's my show. I love The Wire, except for season 2. But after that, I think The Wire was one of those shows that was perfect also. And The Sopranos were just The Sopranos, man. Let me tell you something. I was The Wire. Yeah, it was. Yeah. But like I said, I used to sit there. I used to go and I actually started binge watching that again when I was watching True Blood. Like HBO put out some hits. Speaking of hits for HBO, since we're on HBO, transition. Has you guys watched The Watchmen yet? Man, I think the third episode. Now, if you don't understand the comics, if you don't understand if you haven't seen the Watchmen movie, you don't understand the relationship between the character that was shown on the Watchmen this past episode and Dr. Manhattan. And if you haven't seen the movie yet, you won't understand why she connects in the show. But good, yeah. If you like comic book stuff, and you also like the rated R type deals with the comic books, The Watchmen, especially that first episode, fantastic. It was fantastic. It was one of the best pilot episodes of a show I've ever watched. But this third episode just connected a couple more dots for us, especially with the Jeremy Irons character. Now we know who exactly he is. But I don't want to spoil it for anybody, so I'm trying to make sure I don't. But she actually, like, to tell you the truth, the FBI agent that was on episode 3 actually explains everything from the comic book that happened, like from the giant squid to the comedian to all. She actually named off all of the Watchmen while trying to talk to Dr. Manhattan, and then and also we know that Dr. Manhattan's on Mars right now. So I definitely thoroughly enjoyed this episode. I definitely think this is one of the breakout shows of 2019. HBO just knows how to put stuff out. They know how to put shit out. Everybody was like, "Oh well, what were we gonna do after Game of Thrones is gone? Oh no, I don't know what to do." And then they come out with Watchmen. I could not wait for the Watchmen to come out because I felt like they were going to do a different take on it. They were going to do, and not just are they doing a different take, they're incorporating what happened in the comic books and made it present day. And and it's so amazing. It's amazing. You've read Robert Redford. They made Robert Redford be the one that gave black people reparations. Like, what? Are you serious? And now we got the 7th Cavalry, and we find out a little bit more about the 7th Cavalry. We also find out a little bit more about Glass, which we still don't know everything about Glass, but I think that the Watchmen, really just, it was really a character type episode, this third episode, but the first 2 were going along a storyline that is going to get really fucking deep very quickly. So definitely advise, like, if you like HBO shows, The Watchmen is the next hit. That's the next hit. Like, especially comic book. If you've read the comic book too, in the graphic novels, you are going to enjoy this show. I promise. And that's an Andrew Cruz promise. I appreciate that, man. I try. I'm just trying to do as much as I can, man. I appreciate that. Meth Lab 322. You do. Oh man, I appreciate that, man. I'm trying to do as much as I can. But hey, look. If you don't find me on Twitch, you can also find me on YouTube. You can also find me on Apple Podcasts, once again, at Cruising Podcast. But I definitely thoroughly enjoyed The Watchmen. I thoroughly there's so many other shows. Oh yeah. So I just got to see a trailer too. Speaking of the BBC and speaking of comic book actors, I guess I can say Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy came out with a new twist on the Christmas Carol that I didn't know was coming out. It's supposed to be coming out in December. Of course, they want to ruin, well, oh man. So before I get into this, back in the day, I'm originally from, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Where the Eagles lie. Yeah, fly Eagles fly, baby. But now Tom Hardy can't is coming out with a Christmas Carol. So back in the day when I lived in Philadelphia on Broad Street, this is that's one of the biggest streets on in Philadelphia. There was a place called the Gallery, which now is an outlet mall. It turned into a fucking outlet mall. Fuck. So they used to have this display where you can walk around inside Macy's, and in the back there used to be a Christmas Carol whole deal going on back there. Like they used to, you could walk around. I think it was like $10 each for each person. You could walk around and see the Christmas Carol and walk through the streets of Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol. And it had all the animatronic figures, and had the books, and Tiny Tim and all the rest of it. Like just this, like it brings nostalgia back for me. Like just like I've read so many Charles Dickens, like A Tale of Two Cities, and Oliver Twist. Like, yeah, I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd in reading that type of shit, and then I'm a nerd in Charles Dickens stories. So, with that being said, this Christmas Carol show looks like it's going to be a completely different take on it. Completely different take, and I'm very excited to watch this actually. Mostly because I'm a Tom Hardy fan. If nobody knows, I am a very huge Tom Hardy fan. When he was on Peaky Blinders for the time that he was on there, the show was on point. And I know a lot of people didn't like Venom. All right, now I understand Venom wasn't everyone's cup of tea, but I did. I enjoyed it. I also enjoyed Taboo, so I'm definitely going to hopefully enjoy the Christmas Carol, because it's a completely different take on it. It's like it's a dark story to begin with, and it just seems like you made it darker. And I don't know how you did it, but I'm very excited to see how they're going to incorporate this darkness. Did you see Joker? Oh heck yeah, I seen Joker. What? I seen that first day, first dizzy. Oh my god, Joker? Oh, sir, or ma'am. But let me tell you something. Let me break off real quick. Now you got me on my soapbox about Joker. Look, listen, that was the most disturbingly beautiful piece of art I ever seen in my life. Okay, Joaquin Phoenix deserves best actor. Todd Phillips deserves best film. I'm even saying this as a fan of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, that Joker deserves whatever awards they get. If they can get every award, that'll be great for me too. But I definitely thoroughly enjoyed Joker. Joaquin Phoenix was fantastic. The twists and turns throughout the whole thing, like it was messing with me. How much of the twists and turns, how disturbingly beautiful it was. And for people to say that it was a violent movie and they were walking away from the movie that was violent, I just think you're a hater. And like the whole violent part, it wasn't really a violent movie, to tell you the truth. It's just disturbing to see how somebody with mental health was just treated like shit. That's literally what it was. It was a mirror thing. Like the people that walked out of the movie being disgusted by what was going on, they see themselves in the mirror. And I truly think that Joker was just a completely great movie. It was a great character study. It was a great, really a great like way for people to see how people live with mental health disorders and how they are actually fucking treated. And if going the wrong way, once again, Joker takes one bad day. What doesn't kill us makes us stranger. Who said that? Yeah, Heath Ledger. You're welcome. Heath Ledger's Joker. Yeah. Now, would I say that he's the best Joker? I've been saying this. I'm one of those people that say it. I still think that if Heath Ledger got a full movie, we would have a better understanding of his Joker. But I feel like, and I said this during my review of Joker, but yeah, if you guys go back and listen to the Joker review, but I truly think that Joaquin Phoenix's Joker completely describes or completely gives us a vision of what Heath Ledger's Joker agenda was, or made us figure out why Heath Ledger's Joker was Heath Ledger's Joker. In my opinion, that's just my opinion. I know it sounds a little crazy, but I have a deep dive in the Joker in one of my previous episodes, so definitely check it out if you have not seen if you have seen the movie and enjoyed it like I did. But yeah, completely forgot where I was at. So and also speaking of BBC and speaking of comic book stuff now, and also speaking of Batman, Pennyworth. I was about to say Pennywise. Goodness gracious. I know I talked about this last week, but Pennywise is whew, you would have never thought that Alfred Penny. Did I say Pennywise? Oh, fuck me. Golly. Pennyworth. Alfred Pennyworth. You would have never thought he was this much of a fucking gangster, yo. He doesn't want to kill people, but at the same time, he's just a gangster, yo. And I'm very excited to see the ending to this show, and I'm so happy that it got renewed for a second season, which is awesome. I'm sold on that show. If you haven't seen, it's like the guy that plays Alfred. Hold on, let me remember his name because it's gonna mess with me. I'm gonna type it in, see what happens. Pennyworth, right? Alfred Pennyworth. Jack Bannon. That's his name. Jack Bannon. Now, let me tell you something. It's explaining how he met Thomas Wayne and Martha Wayne. Speaking of Martha Wayne, if you guys forget, just in case you guys, do watch the show, her name is Martha Kane. Just remember Batwoman's name is Cassidy Kane, and that they are cousins. Her and Bruce Wayne are cousins. So just making sure you guys know just before it's on Epics, by the way. But Pennyworth is on Epics. I truly think that this show is just it explains Alfred. And just in case you didn't know, Alfred was a SAS. He was a badass, and the way they depicted him on Joker, they made him look like a bitch on Joker, and I was not happy with that part. I was not happy. I was like, you know what? You made Alfred look like a bitch. All right, I didn't like it. Don't ever make Alfred look like a bitch. Pennyworth makes us see Alfred in a whole different light, as like he's not just the butler. He was a badass at one point. He wasn't always the old guy saying, "Yes, you want some more tea?" No, he was a fucking killer. He was the shit. That's just the way he rolled, man. But it is a very good show. Jack Bannon actually he mixes the brutality of the show with he has pretty good humor on it too. So if you do check it out, man, it's a fantastic show. I'm definitely excited to see the ending to this, and I'm so happy that they got renewed for a second season. And just sit back and enjoy. It's an epic show, so it is uncensored, so it gets a little crazy. I'm just going to put it out there. It gets a little crazy. All right, a lot of things going on there. Also, I guess lastly, I'm going to talk about the Titan show. We finally get a little bit more storyline in this next episode. I think we're at episode 7 or 8 of this season, and it seemed like the season was going by like it was like a character study. Like it was just like they kept doing too much character shit for me. Like every episode was about one person. It wasn't making the leaps of the storyline. It was just like we get like 5 minutes of the storyline going further, and then this is where we're at. And I'm just like, all right, finally, this new episode finally gives us a nice little like push in the right direction of the storyline, and we finally get to see Beast Boy a little bit more this episode. He's a lot more prevalent in this episode. He's helping out the Superboy right now. He was Superboy was in the hospital bed, and really he was helping him out while everybody else figured out that Dick Grayson, aka Robin, was lying to them about the death of Deathstroke's son. So really, I hope you guys go and like. I know a lot of people don't go and watch the DC Universe app and stuff, so find different ways to watch it. But it is a great show. Look at this, man. Like I'm looking at it, top rated shows right now. Connor was 9.4. Jericho, which is the episode before this one, 9.0. Like these episodes are so fucking good. So I just felt like they were doing a little bit too much of a character study for everyone. So, but with that, I hope you guys enjoy watching Titans. I'm starting to now enjoy it a little bit more. So definitely check that out. So with that, daggone, I did not notice I was going 30 minutes strong, baby. Oh, 35 minutes strong. Goodness gracious. I wasn't thinking I was going to do this much, but I did. So lastly, before I go, I'm going to talk about UFC 244 real quick. Just UFC 244. I'm going to talk about this real quick, and then everybody can just be like, I'm out. UFC 244 was one of the best pay-per-views I've seen in a long time. Let's see. Black Beast looked skinnier, looked a lot better. Did he win his fight? It was controversial, but he did. I guess he won. He got a lot more strikes in. I would say that. I guess I just didn't. It wasn't a Black Beast fight to me. It seemed like in the third round, I thought he was going to start letting his hands go a little bit more. He just couldn't knock the dude out, man. He was a tough motherfucker. Ivanovic was just completely. I probably said his name wrong, and I will definitely apologize to him. Please don't hurt me. But he did a great job just staying in front of him, and making sure that he survived every round. And it was, and then the Stephen Thompson fight, he beat the shit out of Vicente Luque, man. He beat the shit out of him. He looked like Stephen Thompson again. He was wily. He was, doing the whole sideways stance and kicking him in the face and doing everything that we've seen from Stephen Thompson. A lot of spinning attacks, his karate style. I think that Stephen Thompson went back to form in this fight. Vicente Luque was just staying in front of him, man, and he was fighting his ass off. But Thompson's just a beast when he gets his range, when he's getting his hands let go, and when he's doing those kicks. Like he's just such a great fighter when it comes down to that. Also, Darren Till going up to middleweight. I know everybody's saying that Darren Till looked like Darren Till again, but here's the deal. Now, just bear with me. Kelvin Gastelum is one of the toughest fucking fighters in the fight game. I'm not going to dread him. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to sit here and try to downplay how good he's been. But if you ever see a fighter walk into a fucking fight with a scarf on and look like he's about to go read some slam poetry, go to a study group, or really do something with another male. No, I'm joking. Not with another male. I'm joking. Sorry. Don't take that seriously. Hold on. But if you see Kelvin Gastelum, I mean, you see another man walking, looking like he's about to go listen to some like Yanni or fish tracks, and you don't knock him the fuck out, did you really do anything that fight? Like Darren Till, like he looked like Darren Till, but at the same time, he just doesn't look like the killer that everybody was talking shit about. That came in like beating the shit out of everybody at middleweight, in my opinion. Like I think he did not look as good as we supposed to have seen him going to middleweight. And I truly think that Gastelum should have walked in maybe with something else on. I guess I've never seen him walk in. I've never seen a fighter walk in looking like that and win a fight. I've never seen it before in my life, and I think that really was Kelvin Gastelum's downfall. All right, but it is what it is. Darren Till won that fight. I think that was a split decision too. And Kelvin Gastelum was very surprised that he lost that fight, but he was getting his ass beat, in my opinion. I mean, Darren Till didn't look that great, but Gastelum didn't look that great either. Like both of them did not look good. Like Gastelum didn't look as good as he did versus Stylebender, and it was very annoying. Also, lastly, the baddest motherfucker title was on the line. Woo! Baddest motherfuckers. Jorge Masvidal versus Nate motherfucking Diaz. Let me tell you something. That was the best 3 fucking rounds I've seen in a long time in the UFC. That shit was a fucking war for 3 rounds. And I'm telling you this, if that shit went to a 4th, if the doctor didn't step in and fuck the fight up for everyone, because for real, the cut was contained. The cut that Nate Diaz suffered was contained. And you can start seeing at the end of the 3rd round, Nate started getting his range. We started seeing a lot better fight from Nate Diaz. Like Masvidal was beating the shit out of him for the first 2 rounds. For first 2.5 rounds, Masvidal was beating the fuck out of him. I'm not gonna lie, that's what was going on. He was getting off every strike. It just seemed like Masvidal has this explosion to him that, like his hand, when he lets his hands go, woo! Those shits come punches and bunches, baby. That's exactly how Masvidal does it. And he just gets off and beats the shit out of him. That was for 2.5 rounds, though. The last little half bit, Nate Diaz, he started, he was tapping him a little bit, and then he started getting off. He started getting his hands free. You see that when they got to the ground, Nate almost had him in a knee bar, and I called this shit. I said, you better not leave that leg in there because Nate's gonna fucking grab it. And he started doing it, and Masvidal did this right thing and stacked on top of him and started just punching the shit out of him. But Nate started getting off at the end of the fucking at the end of the 3rd round. Problem is that Nate had a cut from 3 weeks back against fucking Anthony Pettis that was opened up, and that shit looked fucking horrific. It looked horrific. Let's not lie to ourselves. That shit looked really fucking bad. But if they got to a 4th fucking round, we would have seen the greatest 4th round of all time. Because Masvidal, yes, he was tired. I don't think he was tired. It was just like, because you seen it on, I think it was at the end of the 2nd round. You can just see it. He was like, fuck. He said, how come I can't knock? You can see him just say, fuck. And it was like, how the fuck is he still standing after getting punched so many fucking times in the face? After getting cut up on his cheek, and he got cut up in his eyes, on the top eyebrow. Why the fuck is he still standing in front of me? That's what he was saying. That's what he was doing. And it just seemed like Masvidal, it was frustrating. It's a frustrating thing. Is when you're getting off on someone and they're still standing in fucking front of you. Like he's beating the shit out of him, but he was staying in front of him. And for the referee, not the doctor, to stop the fucking fight, it's so annoying. It's so annoying. You fucked up a great fight because you thought that Nate's cut was that bad. Listen, if this fight happened in Las Vegas and didn't happen in New York, this fight would have kept going. Completely. We all know this. Las Vegas would let you die in the ring and continue to fight. That's how much Las Vegas gives a fuck. If you said you're good to go, they would have let him fight. But they didn't let Nate finish the fucking fight, which is bullshit. In my opinion, he was ready to go. He looked fine. He had to heal up. Masvidal had to also said that I'm surprised. I'm mad that people were booing him. It's not his fault. That wasn't his decision. His decision was to let his fucking hands go. He did what he was supposed to do. Like Nate said, he did exactly what he was supposed to do. He beat the shit out of me for 2.5 rounds. He beat the fuck out of me. That's, you know what I mean? I think if the fight went to a 4th round, we would have saw one of the greatest 4th rounds of all fucking time. That's just my opinion, and probably not a lot of others. So I don't give a fuck. Fuck off. I thought it was one of the best fights I've seen in a very long time. It lived up to what our standards was. It lived up to it. It lived up to what we thought this fight was going to be. It was going to be a fucking war, and it became a fucking war. And I think the fourth round would have been all out. It would have been an all-out fucking war, but the referee hadn't stopped the fucking fight. So the fight has to happen in Las Vegas this time. Next time it has to happen in Las Vegas. Sorry, New York, but your commission is ass. That's bullshit. I know you guys are just getting the MMA, but that's bullshit. How the fuck didn't you finish that fight? No doctor should have stepped into that fight. It's the baddest motherfucker title on the line. Two badass motherfuckers were fighting each other, and they didn't finish. The fight wasn't finished. And Masvidal said, look, man, we can run it back. Let's run it back. I'm going to tell you what the fuck's going to happen, though. He's going to fight the winner of the Usman-Covington fight. I can almost promise you that, because there's more money in that, which I don't think it's true, which they think is probably more money in that, which is not true. I think Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal, they had a trilogy fight, would make way more money than Masvidal, Usman, and Masvidal fucking Covington, in my opinion. And I seen what Covington said. He's a fucking troll. I'm not a fan of Covington. Look, I dislike that shit. Like, if you gotta play a role to get fights, I feel like your skill should be able to be the thing that talks for you, not your mouth. That shouldn't be the thing that makes you get these types of fights. That's bullshit to me. You should not be able to get a good fight, a big fight, because you talk too much. Now, did you beat Robbie Lawler? Yes. Have you not fought in like 2 years? Yes. You haven't fought. Who the fuck? When's the last time you fought? Before Robbie Lawler. When's the last time Colby Covington fought? Can you remember? But you're talking about Usman. It was backing out of fights. Bitch, you've been backing out of fights forever. Tyron Woodley wanted to get on your ass. And you said, nah, I don't want to fight Tyron Woodley. I got injured. But you didn't fight Tyron Woodley, but you're talking shit about Usman. So don't, hey, Pot, what's up, Kettle? You black? So am I. So that's the problem with that, in my opinion. Like, if you're going to talk shit about somebody taking off fights and taking off years, you need to look at the fucking mirror, my boy. And you've been the one that's been out too. This whole Make America Great Again shit and all that, that's all well and good if you're getting fights and stuff, but it's bullshit. I think that's a bullshit way to get a fight. I feel like your skill should be the one talking. That's how MMA should be. This is mixed martial arts. This isn't boxing. This is a mixed martial arts. Your skill should be the one talking for you. That's how UFC should be. It's not a big fucking roster. It's not like you're fighting the whole world and anybody can just step in and fight you. This is not the WBC. This isn't WBA. This isn't the IFC. This isn't any of that shit. This is the UFC. If you can't get a fight straight off your skills, I feel like you should not get. I feel like that's on you. You're a fucking idiot, or you just suck at MMA. I don't know. Who has he really fought though? Who's he really fought? The only person he's really fought was Robbie Lawler, and Robbie Lawler's been fighting all year. Robbie Lawler literally just came off of 2 fights, 2 big fights. Yeah. Like, fuck Covington, dog. He should not. I really hope that Usman beats the shit out of him. I hope Usman beats the fuck out of him. And Usman's fighting with no knees. That's the scary part. How you fight a man with no knees? How you gonna knee bar him? Can't do it because he has no knees. So I'm gonna watch the fight just to see. Hopefully, I'm like everybody else, just to see if Covington gets his ass beat. Probably. I mean, it's just like every time you want somebody to get their ass whooped so bad that they normally win those types of fights too. That's the sad part. Like, we all wanted Lawler to win that fight against Covington, and he didn't. And I think that's literally one of the reasons. Like, it's just always, that's how it works sometimes, but assholes like him, like, he's trying to do what Chael Sonnen did. Chael Sonnen never won a fucking title. He was beating the shit out of Anderson Silva and then got overconfident and got put in a triangle choke. But did Chael Sonnen actually win a title? Anybody? No? Oh, he didn't? Okay. So that heel shit, that's for WWE, motherfucker. That ain't for the UFC. That ain't how the UFC should work, man. And to see that that's the way it is, it's bullshit. I said like fights like Masvidal and Nate Diaz works because yes, those two didn't even have to talk. Like they didn't have to sell me on the fight. I knew that Masvidal and Diaz was going to be a fucking war. I knew that if I went and paid money for it, those two were going to put out the product that they put out for 3 fucking rounds. That's exactly what they did. That was exactly how it was advertised. And guess what? Guess what they did? They didn't really even sell the fight. They didn't talk shit. They didn't go out of their character. They knew they had respect for each other, but at the same time, they're still the 2 baddest motherfuckers in this fight game. Just putting it out there. Just putting it out there. Like, how was this fight able to sell, but you can't get a fight without talking shit, without going outside of your character, apparently? As everybody saying, well, I really like Kobe Covington. He's actually a nice guy. Nice guys get fights too. I'm just putting it out there, especially in UFC. Nice guys get fights too. Just putting it out there. You know, a lot of people do talk shit. That's animosity. But those two didn't have to sell a fight off of animosity. They just sold a fight saying, we're 2 of the baddest motherfuckers in this fight game. And for Kobe Covington to say that was soft, you're a fucking idiot, dude. I think you're dumb as shit for saying some stupid shit. Like, I think you just say stupid shit now. I think now it's you and Henry Cejudo that say dumb fucking shit, in my opinion. It's just dumb as fuck. That was the softest shit I ever seen. I'm the triple champ. Bitch, you ain't no triple champ. Only time you won it, you won a gold medal. That's not a champion. That's not a UFC champion. That's not 3 fucking weight classes, you dumb fuck. Stupid motherfuckers, yo. Like, if you're gonna be a troll, be a good troll. You suck at it. Like, talking about you gonna fight women and the people are sitting here like cheering that shit on. So if that was anybody else that said that he would go and fight fucking Shevchenko, they'd be all up in arms of it. But now, since it's Henry Cejudo saying that shit, everybody's like, oh well, you know, would he win? It's just like the Mayweather Ronda Rousey shit. Will it ever happen? No. So why are we talking about this shit? So yeah, it's just irritating to see, man. And pound for pound, Henry Cejudo is nowhere close to fucking anybody. I'll tell you the truth. Any other weight class champion, he is nowhere fucking close. Let's be real for a minute. I don't give a fuck. He is nowhere close to anybody else. Sorry to put it out there, but 244, man, it was a great fight. I didn't know this, and I was wondering why this, but Canelo and Kovalev's fight was postponed, was delayed until UFC 244 was over. Did anybody know that? That it was delayed until 244 was over? Boxing, you gotta do better, bro. The Zone, you gotta do better, bro. That is your biggest attraction, is Canelo. Canelo has a whole fucking country behind him. A whole country behind him. Mexico shuts down when fucking Canelo fights. Every Mexican I know shuts down when Canelo fights. That's the only pictures I see is Canelo. Kovalev is Russian. And Russia loves Kovalev. I know this is factually. I know that. Kovalev is the shit in Russia. How the fuck do you delay a boxing match between those two with Canelo going up in light heavyweight? That just shows you that UFC runs the fight game, runs combat sports. That's what it shows us. It shows us that UFC runs combat sports. That Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz is more popular than Canelo Alvarez. And this is the most popular boxer in the world right now. This is actually the top boxer in the world right now. And we're sitting here looking at it, watching Canelo, and we're sitting here seeing Kovalev is sitting on a fucking couch waiting for the fight to end. I mean, not sitting, laying down on a couch waiting for UFC 244 to end. The fight didn't happen until like 12 o'clock in the fucking morning. With, you know, Canelo Alvarez knocking out knocking out Kovalev. I'm just saying, boxing. You are the king of combat sports. We all know this. You motherfuckers were king for a long time. This shows us right here. It's over. Not over, but it ain't looking good. It's not looking good at all. And they talk about UFC being like UFC losing attendance and people watching and stuff, but you just seen boxing delayed a whole entire event just so a fight from the UFC can end, so people can go and watch boxing. And Dana White did that on purpose. Dana White does that on purpose all the time. Now, if it was Floyd Mayweather probably would have said, fuck that, we're fighting. Right now, at the time that we fucking said that we're going to fight after, the last main card. That is not good. That's not a good look, yo. That's not either the zone fucked up or boxing, whoever it is that ran that part of the show, fucked up really bad. You fucked up real bad. So what are you going to do? Like, this is now the line has been drawn in the sand, and it shows that y'all ain't getting viewers. Is it really 8 o'clock? It should be 7, huh? Is my clock wrong? That might be right. Actually, that might be right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so we'll see. This might be the end of boxing unless Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury actually fucking fight each other. Or Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, however way this motherfucker works. Or Anthony Ruiz. We're about to figure out if boxing can handle another maybe even like 2-3 years of UFC's dominance. Because it seems like the UFC is now dominated. That is a first time I've heard some shit like that before from boxing. It might have happened before, but this is the first time that Canelo Alvarez had to fucking wait for a UFC event to end. That's not good. That's not good at all. That's not a good look. So, that's weary, man. I'm scared for them, man. Oh man. That's crazy. So, with that is the Cruising Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, man. I hope it was uplifting, man. I truly do. I know I gave you guys a lot of shit to think about. Like I said, if you want to participate in No Days November, make that motherfucker a No Days Off November should be a fucking hashtag. So we're going to make this a fucking movement. I'm making it a movement for my damn self. You guys make it a movement for you too. You know what I'm saying? No Days Off, hashtag No Days Off November. That's going to be all my fucking Instagram posts. I promise that, I think, kind of, in a way. But if you need to find your boy Andrew Cruz, aka Cruising Podcast, you can find me at Cruising Podcast on Instagram. Also, you can find me on Twitter on Nicetown Finest. And also, if you have YouTube at Cruising Podcast. Also at Twitch, which is at Nicetown Finest. Is an I think there's an underscore between Nicetown and Finest 27. It has the Cruising Podcast logo on it. If you need to find the Cruising Podcast, also is on Apple Podcasts, also on Stitcher. Also, I think I'm on Spotify. I'm on like a bunch of shit right now. SoundCloud, Mixcloud for the older episodes. And did I say Stitcher? I think I said Stitcher already. So with that, I want to thank you guys so much for listening to the Cruising Podcast. I will be back on Wednesday. I promise, for anime and video games. I've watched so much fucking anime for you guys for that ass. I can't wait to tell you guys about it. Hopefully, you guys enjoy your day and don't do anything I wouldn't do. And I'll catch you guys on Wednesday for anime and video games. Deuces.